Really?
Are they real women or
Certainly
fake?
not in my house.
Fake
I'll
real
tell you
women.
that.
Yeah, let's see if we run because it says we run.
Then they want to have a kid.
Yep,
It's too much.
we in it.
Yeah.
We in it like Leroy Bennett.
It's like okay, I gotta get to work again. can't do anything crazy. Just plain stuff to make a baby. Here we go again.
He's doing what? To make a baby.
just talk about my life.
La Kweenta. Alright, we live now. Put me in frame. Yeah, I'm right there. Like, go over a little bit. You're too high. I'm not tall like you.
And then it's like, turn my speakers up.
Speakers so loud. My speakers so loud. Alright, are we on? Am I in?
Yep, we're live.
Focus on me. I'm out of focus.
You're on. You're
Alright, hey, welcome to Erraticast. I'm your host, Yusuf. Shooting, beaming in from you live
Yusuf.
in Atlanta. Stop making fun of my name. It's a pen name. It's not an assumed alias. Anyway. So I'm at my homie's house. We got Dragon Con coming up. So this is just kind of like an announcement show. I'm gonna take a second and beam this out to everyone and everywhere real quick like so that you can follow me on the internet. Maybe. Let's see. I always put my Facebook address in wrong and put my password into the address line. So, I got two people in the studio with me. One, Bob Odom, and another one, Andrew Cook, who also go by Yusuf.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
You all have the same name. So tell us what's good? What's good in the hood?
I believe Robbie goes by Broseph.
He does.
I'm actually in the Habib family.
The Habib fam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm in the Mardi Gras beads family.
Oh yeah. Show us your tits.
what?
I mean, it makes sense, right?
No.
Oh man. I thought we was free balling. Flesh bowling.
Flesh
Are you
bowl.
taking pictures while I do this?
No,
Stop it. I think you're making it lag.
I'm just refocusing
I ain't getting
because you
this-
keep moving.
Apparently, I ain't getting no sound. Oh, 'cause I gotta
So let's-
mute. Can I hear myself?
I can hear you. You're echoing now, though.
No, it's because I was playing.
I'm watching you on the.
Is it
Yeah, there's sound.
red lining out?
Yeah. Well, it's not red line. It's good.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you control the volume. So what are we talking about, fellas? You got
Okay,
anything on your mind?
Here's something. How many Deadpools and what's the other one? Joker's wife. How many of those are going to be at the Comic-Con?
Okay, so Joker's quote-unquote wife, Harley Quinn, was not actually a love interest of the Joker. The Joker hates Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is like weirdly devoted to the Joker.
You think
But
Joker has no feelings?
He doesn't. He doesn't care about her except how he can use her.
Well,
you stop.
that's still a relationship.
Yeah, it's a relationship, but it's not the relationship that's been portrayed. Because you know that in the original cut of the Suicide Squad, and this is what I heard from some guy who does like movie criticism, is that he was trying to kill her the entire time, but they recut it to make it look like they had some type of like symbiotic relationship.
It started in the animated, the
Yeah,
Batman
you're talking
animated
about
series.
Yeah, and that was cool.
There was some sort of relationship going
Yeah, it
on.
was mutual, but I just bring that up to say the point is that the real love relationship that Harley Quinn had was with Poison Ivy.
What? No, what? In the movie, The Suicide Squad?
No, there was no Poison Ivy in Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
I haven't seen
Have
it.
you not seen it?
It was awful. Don't watch it.
It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
It was as good as the Death Note movie. The editing was horrible. And I could tell that. But there's this guy on the internet. I forget what he's called. I think it's like, I can't think of the name right now. And I'm not gonna give him like a plug or nothing because I just don't remember who he is. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he was talking about the editing, and he said that the same people who cut the trailer were the people who cut the movie. Like,
Ouch.
yeah,
I don't. Well, here's the thing.
it was apparent.
Poison Ivy is always portrayed somewhat promiscuously. So for you to say that she has a relationship with Harley Quinn is, that's even more sketchy than saying, you're saying the Joker doesn't have a relationship with Harley Quinn, but
When I say the relationship, I mean like what people would say is a relationship. Like, oh, I love him, he loves me, kind of relationship. Like if.
Yeah,
because I draw comparisons between what their idealization of that relationship is and the relationship between Mikasa and Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, because they actually have that type of relationship where they care for each other.
Well, for some reason, like Harlequin is very much romanticized by like a Comic-Con crowd, and Deadpool too.
She's nuts.
Really, Deadpool is as close to a villain as you can get while still being a hero.
Yeah, so he's like the quintessential anti-hero.
I mean, I don't know that I can even call him an anti-hero. I think he's I don't know that he's a hero. Like, an anti-hero has some heroic trait.
Well, see, tell me about Deadpool.
Well, he's a Spider-Man ripoff.
Yeah.
He's like edgy Spider-Man. He's like Wolverine and Spider-Man combined.
Allegedly, he's also a a Daredevil ripoff.
A Daredevil ripoff?
Or maybe Daredevil's the ripoff. No, yeah. Deadpool's a ripoff of Daredevil, or of an older. I don't know. I read it was in an article. I think I could pull it up, but I don't exactly remember.
The problem with Daredevil is it's like they want to make Batman, but they can't, so they made Daredevil. I don't know. Everything seems so similar.
Yeah. I've heard that.
I mean, it's a dark city they work in.
Yeah. He's like a ninja.
Yeah, basically.
He's like randomly a ninja who used to wear a cowl and now he wears like an actual suit.
Look how close their outfits actually kind of look. You put a cape on Daredevil, you get Batman.
Yeah.
They have the same backstory too, though.
But doesn't Daredevil have like incredible luck?
No.
He's got like bat sonar.
Yeah.
That's like his special.
He's Batman.
I mean, it's one of those where you were running out of superpowers.
He's literal Batman.
Yeah, he's closer to Batman than Batman is.
He's more bat than man.
Yeah. Batman can, see. Well, I guess bats can see too.
Batman can see with his senses. Daredevil can see with his.
But yeah, after the 80s happened, he got darker and darker. And then eventually he became just simply the flip side of Joker. It was law versus chaos.
Word.
In what? The Dark Knight Returns, was it?
I'm not really. I was never like a comic book guy per se. I enjoyed the comic book medium, but I consume the stories and I piece them together from other people's knowledge. So, like, if you have any input from comics, I'd be more than happy to hear them.
Well, how much is people liking Harley Quinn simply because she looks cool, and how much is?
Does she really look that cool?
She just looks like. Well, the comic book character doesn't look like the Suicide Squad character.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad character is like a glorified stripper.
Glorified stripper is you're stuck with almost all super women of any sort.
I wonder if anybody can hear you guys when you talk. Does the microphone register?
Yes.
Okay. So as long as the audience can hear you, that's what matters. But yeah, I don't know. Harley Quinn, I wouldn't say she looks cool. She's just like drawn hot.
I mean, there's something about her that so many people like.
Well, she's a smart girl. She's not just like a crazy hammer swinging chick. She's got a lot on the ball.
Yeah,
She's just like, she's kind of like a smart girl that pretends to be dumb. That's kind of how I feel about her. It's like you think she's an idiot, but she's really not. And I think a lot of women identify with that type of archetype.
Yeah, she's a psychologist.
Yeah.
For one thing.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty smart to be a doctor. She's a doctor.
She didn't drop out of school.
She didn't drop out of school to be a baller. She got her doctorate, and then she became a baller.
Yeah, then she became a baller.
Why are you zooming in on my face? Andrew, I need you to take this seriously.
Rogue director. That's what this is.
It was a serious moment. Yeah, I felt like it.
I never want... Look, when I'm being serious, I don't need people looking at my gums.
What? And and you know there's Deadpool that everybody he's the male Harley Quinn.
How many people are gonna be Deadpool this year?
Well, here's the thing. They made a Gwen pool.
Yeah, I heard about that. Why isn't Gwen Stacy dead?
Well, I think she's from another universe or something.
Okay, and there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, it's tons of it.
A lot of like universe jumping and like different writers writing different continuities.
It's the easiest way to keep everybody you like alive, for one thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not critical of that in and of itself. It's just like as a casual comic book fan, I'm really reluctant to call myself a comic book fan. I'm a fandom junkie because I latch onto the fandoms I like and I dig into them, but I don't like religious like the last comic book I read was shameless plug, Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Shirtless Bear Fighter.
It's just
amazing.
as great as it sounds. You need to go to your local comic book shop and get the 3 issues that are out.
It's just now recently came out.
It's a friend of ours. His brother is the writer. Was he the head writer? Yeah, his brother wrote this comic with like the help of some other guys, and they put it out, and it's pretty hot, bro. Like, and it's funny. It's like old buddy cop movie cliches with an original story about bears and Soviets. There's one panel where a couple panels where Shirtless was talking to his old friend, and they were war buddies. And he's like, you remember that time in Nam? And they went into a flashback. He's like, and those panda bears something. And he's like, yeah, you really pulled my fat out of my bacon out of the fryer that day. He's like, and then the girl's like, don't pandas live in China? He's like, they do now.
That's a very
it's a lot of passion in that panel.
a very anime joke, perhaps.
Yeah, it's very much that. But I mean, that's part of the whole landscape now. Like you remember the movie Identity?
Oh, what is that?
Identity was it Kevin Spacey?
Mm-hmm.
It was a Kevin Spacey detective thriller where these people were getting killed at this motel.
No, I haven't ever seen it.
Oh man, you gotta see it. Like, but that movie was the first time that I saw a movie and I was like, this really puts me in the mind of like a manga or like an anime. That's what about the time I think, because I look at anime and manga as a style of storytelling,
right?
And the way they tell stories is a distinct, unique thing.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that has come into the American. Like all of our films and movies, TV shows,
what is it
and
called?
books.
Die Another Day, or with
Oh, I know what you're talking about with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Based on that book, All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah.
Was the name of the story, and they actually released a trade paperback of that.
I mean,
the ending is very different.
That movie was the most anime movie I've ever seen in my whole life. Real people.
It was a Japanese story.
I mean, it's crazy to see it like that, though. But it was done so well.
What was it called? You Only Live Once, or You Only Live Twice?
Because it was a super serious film at first, like anime does.
Yeah,
this is really intense, and then
the
suddenly
robots
they start cracking jokes. You know, it was like it had humor in it in between all the like really dark humanities, you know, dying stuff.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's like anime is in the middle of like the darkest stuff. They'll crack a joke.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what? And it's just so out of left field.
Well, you know the Japanese are post-apocalyptic.
that's true. That's true. You know, like it seems like every anime I read, they do that kind of stuff. Or they'll have like relationships, of sorts. There's a lot of teenage sexual overtones, teenage style. You know, where they feel uncomfortable with their sexuality. That's a classic like anime.
Okay, so I was watching. You know they re-released Parasite. You remember Parasite?
Mm-hmm.
They re-released that as Parasite the Max in the anime, right? I was looking. I was reading. It made me reread Parasite and read the rest of it. And in that story was basically like old buddy coming of age. It was like a twisted coming of age story because eventually dude manned up, got with the chick, and like a real big arc was them hooking up. And Parasite was from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and even now, even then, it made me a little bit not uncomfortable, but like it affronted my sensibilities as a Western, because they were like high school kids.
Right.
And even though that's normal for kids now to be hooking up, like hookup culture has reached critical mass.
Well,
like relative to
I would
the way
say
we
when
came.
I would say when people were getting married at the age of 12 was when that's old school hookup culture right there.
You get married, so we're getting married just so I can bang you. But then we got to stay together because everybody in the village is going to be like,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, that was like that shows that level of comfort with sexuality, because it was like it was not him having to deal with his parents' objections to it. It was him having to deal with the fact that he had to man up.
Right. Yeah.
Because I mean, Parasite was really about a kid just being a whiny little shit. And then some major cataclysm happens that he's like face to face with, and he can't tell anybody else about. And he has to deal with it the best way. That kills his parent. Spoiler alert! I mean, you have like 40 years to read the comic.
It's a civilization. You know, in my opinion, it's civilization in confrontation with like the jungle. You know, because
the wilderness.
Because the alien that takes him over does not care about the thing. It's hungry. It's gonna eat something. It doesn't think about what it's gonna eat. Why? Yeah. You know, it's just straight up.
And eventually, these things do become like they start being conscientious, and then there's a rifting between them too.
Oh, the alien starts getting empathy.
Yeah. Like all of them, like even though they don't feel it, they still have to be politically minded about things because it threatens their existence. What are you doing?
It's recentering.
That's interesting. Even and you know, because there's got to be people out there that don't have any ethics. And then that's the question of, or should I say, they don't have any like empathy or feelings for other people. And then the question is how do you make a political system to account for those people, and you know, so that you can have a thriving society, and without them just completely destroying everything, because they would be the destroyers.
Well, I mean, that's like the concept of honor among thieves.
Right.
Like you can't steal from everybody. Eventually, you're going to be in a situation where you need an ally, and the only ally that you can rely on is somebody in your state.
Moving it is just a single price.
It's good to know for future reference.
It's really simple.
So if I were to go back to the original question, I would say 1 out of 10 people is going to be a Deadpool or a Harley Quinn.
I think that's 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
You gotta account for each one per sex, and let's not forget variations.
Yeah, Gwenpool.
like
Harley Man.
Harley Payne. Then we have the permutations, like Deadpool mixed with anime, or like them disguised as another character, like steampunk Harley Quinn.
Oh God, no.
Steampunk Deadpool.
No more steampunk.
Oh.
Never anymore.
Are you steampunk hater?
Okay.
You got a fan in the corner.
Steampunk is stupid.
Continue.
Steampunk's problem is that it'll take something medieval and then put a computer on it that it didn't need.
It didn't need.
Like it adds all these technological features to things like, you know, a sword.
It didn't need
The sword doesn't need a computer. You can just swing it and kill things.
And whoever said I'm a steampunk fan?
You said you were steampunk.
I bet you got a top hat with a monocle that has 15 magnification somewhere.
That is not what I do.
Steampunk's awful.
By Jove, I think he's got it. It's the year 1337.
Yeah, it's
1000. It's a future where things are steam powered.
Which makes no sense.
it doesn't make any.
Welcome to my totally steam powered future, just purely aesthetic though.
Everything's coal.
I guess that's my problem with it.
Cold.
Yeah, coal runs everything in the future.
Cold for my food. Sometimes I need cold. It helps level my bowels. Lord Cluckington. But yeah, there's going to be plenty of... What if we don't see any Deadpools or Harley Quinns?
Then that means they've gathered somewhere for dark things.
like photo opportunity. I like fat Deadpool.
Yeah, actually, I like a fat number of things.
Oh, have you seen the girl? I think Cindy or Sydney from Final Fantasy 15, the mechanic girl.
Yeah.
There's this one chick that cosplayed, and the girl's like, she's not fat, but she's kind of fat.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh my god.
Did it make her look good?
Yeah. I thought she looked good. I was like, that's fat Cindy for that.
I was thinking, yeah, that could work for a good number of women.
But like, she's one of those people that's on Twitter, so you know, Twitter's full of idiots because I think Twitter gets the spillover from Tumblr. So, or rather, Twitter's the dark side of Tumblr.
Is it?
I don't know. It's just like you get that whole SJW kind of slant where it's like ultra feminist, Gamergate, SJW kind of stuff from like the popular people. And she's pretty popular. And apparently people were like bagging on her for, you don't do fat, Cindy. You don't like that.
Dennis we're live.
Young, dumb, broke high school kids. Let's see if it'll start my count over again. So we've been having a good conversation. I like it when that happens. Everything good happens, then your shit dies.
It's pretty easy to go back live with it.
Yeah. Okay, yep. Apparently it runs continuous.
Yep.
Wait a second, let me get ready.
Okay.
Weeble wobble, weeble wobble.
Weeble wobbles fall. Weeble wobbles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Rory.
It's my son's
Are
name.
you channeling his kid?
No, you know how the acting, where you make your voice say a bunch of weird things to make it.
Dennis, we're live.
Are we?
We've been live for
Can
like
you hear me though?
a whole minute. Yeah. Can hear you just fine.
Did you see my phone? Of course, you can hear me because you're in the room.
Now I can see.
That's not how the internet works.
I can see it on the mic.
I might have to video output low. What's going on here?
No, it says 29, 30 frames a second.
Well, I mean it's running, but the stream's being weird. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a minute. So let me plug some cool stuff while we're while we're here. And check us out on TotalNerdOn.com because you'll see us live from Dragon Con tomorrow. Are there events and stuff going on now?
No.
So there's nothing happening?
No. Not till tomorrow.
Oh, so tonight's just people like wandering the event hall, harassing stragglers if they find them. It's like, aren't you that girl from that show I don't remember the title of, but I'm always staring at your boobs? Will you sign my penis? Like right there on the meat. She's like, that's not a penis. Gotcha. It's a micro penis.
Oh, man.
I wish I had some more Dogecoin.
I was a rich man once.
I traded all my Bitcoins for Dogecoins. They told me they'd give me the equivalent value.
He's not rich in Bitcoin, but he sure is rich in Dogecoin.
Why would anybody need so many Doge?
All the dogs.
That's like saying, they've got a nice personality. You should go date them. That's like what that is.
Everybody should invest in Dogecoin.
I agree.
That's such an insult. Dogecoin's got a great personality.
Dogecoin.
Wow, what personality?
Waiting for Alan just to run down the
Such
stairs
no
and just start knocking
The
his
thing
lights
is
over.
like, if someone actually does have a nice personality, I'd like that. That's pretty cool. But I'm saying, like, how many people that they say have a nice personality actually have one?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, why is that what you sell?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, okay, so from a marketing standpoint, you always sell
This
the
guy
best.
has a nice personality.
You always sell the best of what you got. So if
Right.
that's the best of what you got, like, a nice personality is kind of like middle of the road. People don't really care about personality that much.
Well, there's that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know that many people, like, with a, sparkling personality or are very interesting or thoughtful. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's so mediocre, and I'm not trying to be insulting.
No, it's true.
But
It's true if you're realistic.
so I'm saying, like, when
But,
I think if you do not have the best looks, and someone says you got a good personality, I've got high. It's like the guy who's looking for a supermodel, so he's gonna go be a doctor type stuff. I'm expecting the height of personality.
I mean, if I meet a girl who's like a 9 or 10, when it comes to personality, I'm not expecting her to hit anything out of the park. I mean, at that point, it's like, can she put a sentence together and not bore me to death?
Is her personality morbidly obese?
Girl, you got a fat personality. Yeah. Let me get up in that. And then she's gonna go tell her friends, she's like, she totally tried to hop up in my personality. And I was like, girl, we ain't having this.
Listen to
So
this.
I just blew him.
Listen to this. I was watching Family Feud, and they asked 100 men, what was the first thing that you fell in love with about your wife? And 90 out of those 100 men said something about her body. Like, either 75 of them picked face, the rest picked body, and then then there was like
The very last answer.
there was like a couple of points for personality, a couple of points for. But I was like, oh man, that's depressing. That is depressing.
I mean, we don't need much. Like, we can generate our own entertainment.
That's true.
Women, on the other hand, they gotta watch true crime stories. And that was another thing. I was talking to a former mutual friend of ours. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His picture's Common Rider on Facebook.
Right.
Okay, so we were having a discussion about writing. Or at least that's the way I looked at it. And he decried some detective novels that he'd been looking through as being, because we got on crassness of writing. Because I found this book on tape at the church it was called White Sister, and it was like a crime mystery about a guy I'm gonna say LA. It was a murder mystery about some dude infiltrating the hood to find out there was this white woman who's just like banging black dudes. And this is what I'm giving from the synopsis, but this is how it started, and I never got past it. And it was audio we were talking about. The story started with him driving his brand new like Acura when he got off duty, and he hits an obviously black bum who starts speaking in the type of black dialect that only a very white author could concoct. But then our friend gets on something about like rape in books, like some of these detective novels use gratuitous rape scenes or something, and he was like, and it's not like in Conan, the original Conan author wasn't into that, and he's like, well, he did write two storylines like that, and I was like, well, I think the prevalence of that has to do with like they surveyed women and about their fantasies, and a lot of women harbor rape fantasies, so I think that may attribute to that.
My question is what is a gratuitous rape scene?
I don't know how he would define it.
That's what I want to know.
He didn't want to go there.
Well, I was
really trying to get at the meat of it and find out, but we never had that conversation.
It just sounds like a complex idea that isn't one.
What, rape imagery?
Not rape. Look, you can have rape in a story. I'm saying, what is a gratuitous rape scene? I mean, how can is it
That's
not?
Got too much.
I mean, the fact that it exists in the way I was talking about it, the fact that it existed makes it gratuitous.
Right. That was my point. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to.
It doesn't have to be described in excess. But I'm pretty sure it got pretty vivid, or at least it went a page.
I mean,
he ripped her clothes asunder.
I think women like the idea of, some women like the idea of certain games.
Well, you keep zooming in on my face.
I didn't. Then.
It's like, it was a
I
serious
zoomed back
moment.
out.
It was a serious moment, Dennis.
It was saying something important. Then I was like, I zoomed in for the serious, like he's doing the featured speech on rape. Like he's like, and this right now, rape. And then it like just zooms in.
Anyway, I'm looking at the stream and just keep zooming in on my face.
I think we got a gratuitous director. We got a gratuitous director is what we got.
This guy. This guy. I'm looking at it. Young, dumb, broke high school kids.
And now, back to our featured presentation.
Back to our featured presidents. But yeah, I don't know. Like, between gratuitous rape, Deadpool, and Harley Quinn. I don't see why global warming is still a problem. Like, I mean, Al Gore gave us the internet. You think we'd have figured it out by now?
I know.
Because we could figure out how, like, embed cat pictures in places cat pictures never needed to exist.
What I want to know is why does gay marriage create global warming?
Because all that fart box punching. And I told him, I said, I don't care about Taylor Swift's political ideals. That has nothing to do with how much meat I'm going to pack into her if I get half the chance. Consenting, of course.
And that's a real quote. That's a real quote.
That quote got an angry react. Stop.
Taylor Swift, I mean, look. How many men really care what a woman's politics is when he's trying to get with her? Unless she's obnoxious about it, which quite a few are nowadays. But how many would actually care?
I don't really care about anybody's political standing.
Well, I'm not really talking. That's
not generally. Like, as far as women go.
Yeah, like
who cares about a woman's morality? I mean, unless they eat babies.
Yeah.
Like literally eat actual children and not my kids.
I wish I would have zoomed in when I said, "Who cares about women's morality?"
Have you?
Well, I'm just saying, like a lot of people don't. A lot of guys I know that care less.
That's not. Yeah. So I'm saying like.
She's like, did she kill anybody? Nah. she gives good head.
I mean, who cares about like that kind of stuff when you're looking for? I guess if you have to live with them, and then they're watching the news and now they're angry. Yeah, that might be a problem.
Yeah. You know. I mean, you can't marry everybody, and you wouldn't.
Hopefully.
Like being in a relationship with somebody is different than being with somebody. Yeah. For like a night or a weekend or several days.
It's like the guy who in the Brady Bunch movie. She's like, I can't remember what it was, but she didn't want to go to the prom with him because she had a broke nose, and he's like, well, I'm not after your broke nose or whatever.
That's just like everything that's attached to you.
So I think that's what that is right there. The summation of that.
Yeah.
What do you keep leaning over there for?
Because I'm on the computer. I have to do various tasks since the current producer's zooming in on my nose hairs.
How many are in there? Count them.
Okay.
This one's shaped like the 45th president. Hold on, I got a dingleberry. Looks just like it. It's like this is a battle to see how many offensive things I can say in an hour. It's like, what kind of audience are we catering to?
And then you're like, George Carver didn't invent peanut butter or something.
George Carlin invented all kinds of profanities.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity. Watch your profanity.
What is that? How that guy actually talks? Or is it
he had a deep voice, but then he said, "What is this shit?" His eyes got big. Watch your profanity. But I don't know if that was actually in the broadcast or if somebody tweaked the audio to make it say that and make him sound like that.
Maybe he like knee jerked from Super Ego, and that's how his mom sounded. You know?
Watch your profanity. In the black household. No, I think what I need to do is just like get a female host and just like feed her lines.
Yeah.
It's like just talk to these people about this stuff.
Well,
she's got to be hot though.
On ESPN or any of these sports shows, you have two guys. You have you have two guys debating each other, and then right in the middle you have a pretty girl.
Yeah.
So the film is focused directly on the pretty girl, but like you still get to hear two dudes talking about all kinds of dumb stuff.
And what's crazy is that I feel like the only reason they have those girls on those shows is for the female viewers.
You think so?
Yeah, because half of them are lesbians, and the other half are just like, oh look, there's a pretty girl on TV who can be smart. I'll call it the Harley Quinn factor. In fact, we should have a show. It's like two dudes debating over stupid comic book stuff, and then there's a girl in the middle. She's like, I'm quite knowledgeable about comics. And she is, but every time she interjects, the two dudes look at her and say, what do you know about comics? You're just a girl.
Yeah, because that would reinforce all the angry, you know, you get your angry woman viewers there, you know.
Yeah.
That's how you get them.
They love talking about that.
They're like, what did he say? I'm going to talk about this on Facebook for 45 days now.
Yeah. And then she's the one with like 30,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. If righteousness is such a gigantic industry on the internet, it's ridiculous.
Oh man, I kind of understand why they say now that people respond more to feelings than facts. It's all about them feels.
Yeah, like you come out with a movie nowadays, and instead of advertising it, you like be like, oh, and by the way, we switched the gender roles, and then everyone's like, I'm gonna type about this for 15 days straight.
15 days straight.
Ghostbusters, how dare they have a woman cast?
Yeah, it's like you don't advertise for movies. You just start like, you know, getting people offended, and then everybody talks about it.
Oh,
I did like the female Ghostbusters.
Check this out. So okay. So Office Space predicted Bitcoin.
Really?
You remember what happened They were like, we will invent a program that takes every
Yeah, it
fraction
takes
of
a
a penny
fraction.
from every transaction, and we'll be rich.
Right.
What is Bitcoin mining? It's verifying transactions and taking fractions of the verification as it happens. To verify blockchains is going through all that code. That's why you need a powerful processor and grab it. But anyway,
But isn't that
Office
Richard?
Space.
Isn't that Richard Pryor from Superman 3?
Isn't it? Wait, what?
No. The guy got the idea from watching Superman. I don't know which one it was. One of the Superman movies. Richard Pryor was the one that came out with the fraction of a penny thing.
Yeah. And now, the Kevin Smith movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, predicted the whole angry internet troll thing, and that was the story of Kevin Smith's. Like Kevin Smith experienced a lot of that.
Are you talking about the first? You're talking about the Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Yeah.
Okay. That one I'm a little hazy on.
Well, when he was looking for a kiosk in the movies, and he was like, "What? They've been talking smack about our thing," and he gets on the internet. It's like, "You little motherfuckers." Blah blah blah.
Well, trolling was around way before that.
Yeah, but as a direct means of advertising, advocating,
I get what you're saying.
Like advocating marketing advocation.
Right.
So I mean, like what you guys were saying. What are you laughing at?
The angle.
What are you doing?
It's just
That angle.
the way you're sitting. The way you're sitting is showing up as a hilarious angle.
Okay, can you fill me in?
Lean forward. There we go.
Instead of laughing at me, you say, "Hey, you look goofy. Why don't you lean forward?"
It's the weirdest directing.
No, it's probably some of the worst show direction I've ever.
You look like you're beached on the couch.
That's how I wanted to look.
Maybe.
I know, but
Anyway,
you look like you're just, yeah,
I look comfortable.
corpulent.
Corpulent.
Yeah, I'm pretty big though. I've got a big lower body. Plus, I'm wearing super baggy clothes. Corpulent. Corpulent's a friendly word for fat, by the way. Boy, I know what I look like.
Now he's gotta show me.
Can't help but that angle. But sorry, I'm giggly. Maybe it's at a New Groove beer.
What flavor is it?
Highway 9. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You mean road apples?
Great. Now I'm getting arrested, possibly shot.
It's not the best angle.
Highway 9.
I am pretty giggly right
It's
now.
fine. Yeah, just like being on Highway 9. You ever lived there?
Do we got any viewers?
Corpuscle.
Is anybody watching?
Allegedly, there's one. Hey, out there. One viewer.
Hey, internet.
We're doing some highly experimental jazz.
Hey, Dennis's mom.
Hostile
I wish.
director.
She probably is watching. I don't know. Hey, Mom.
Well, this is pretty
Yeah.
innovative.
Hostile
Where has there
director.
ever been a hostile director? I mean,
That's a good point. I've certainly never had one. I'm pretty self-deprecating at times. But it's never happened this way.
like he's not your average demanding director. He's just gonna pull shit, you know, and you hope for the best.
Hey, true. What can I say? Oh, Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
What?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Is it a new Western one?
No, it's based on Ninja.
Oh,
What?
boy.
What? Hey, censor that. Censor
I
that.
said Ninja. Ninja.
Oh wait, you can
Hard-
say that word.
Hard
Karen.
G. Hard G.
Right.
Careful.
Hard N's and G's. Hard N's and G's.
Ninja. My ninja.
So
I can't help it. It's just too funny. Friends are having a gift battle in a group chat.
so it's Power Ranger Steel Beams. What?
Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Power Rangers can't melt steel
yeah,
beams.
Power Rangers can't help Steel Beams.
Yeah, it's
That's why I
obvious.
love that show, because it's got a conspiracy aspect too. Apparently they're like, I watched an episode this past Saturday, and like the fifth Ranger or whatever number he is, the one that's not with the original cast when the show starts, but the guy that comes from somewhere else. Now he's kind of like doing the Tommy thing. It's kind of like the Green Ranger. Whereas like at the end of the episode, they're like, "Yeah, man, sorry I didn't trust you guys." And they're like, "No, it's okay. We all learned a valuable lesson." And then like we cut to the next scene, and he's talking to like the evil Empire head. She's like, "Is the plan working?" He's like, "Yes, they're right under my finger," or whatever. I was like, "Oh, we got some intrigue."
I've got a theory on the Green Ranger that turns into the White Ranger from the original.
Okay, let's hear it.
They ran out of footage.
No. Yes and no. You're right, but... Okay, so Super Sentai changes over every year. And the White Ranger is actually from Dairanger.
It's from a different one, right?
Yeah, they didn't use any of the footage from Dairanger except for the White Ranger's footage. And in the original, in Dairanger, he was a kid. So he was a kid that transformed into an adult when he transmetamorphosed.
I bet those shows get really weird.
Dairangers.
Remember Big, where the lady like it's like she basically about to rape Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, and Tom Hanks is a kid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's an adult, but he's still a kid, and she's like coming on to him.
He's an at-risk adult. as a legal definition, he's totally
an at-risk adult.
It's Big, like one writer is like, I grew up with an autistic kid. He turned into an autistic adult, and like you still kind of like a kid.
Yeah, what is Big about? Is it about like, is it the question of should a normal person have sex with a mentally retarded? Is that what Big is about?
Is it? I mean, that's definitely a theme. and it came up when I was doing the Work Keys program, because
I deal with every day.
Oh yeah.
So I have massive respect for anybody like that has to try to go through that maze.
Yeah, who's your lawyer?
Yeah.
We got about 6 minutes left.
For an hour. 4 hours up. We're on the
Battery.
Okay. So yeah, this would be a good place to stop. Plug in TotalNerdOn.com. Check us out at DragonCon tomorrow.
Still got to put our website up.
What is our website?
TotalNerdOn.com.
Well,
Yeah.
just check us out on Facebook, because the website's going to be parked anyway. And that'll go live pretty soon. But tomorrow we're going to be covering DC. And
That means Dragon Con.
yeah, it means DragonCon.
Yeah, Dragon Con.
DragonCon.
Dragon Con.
DragonCon.
Dragon Con.
Con!
Dragon Con!
I'm a con.
Alright, good night, everybody. Turn it off. Turn it off. Make it stop. You gotta stop it.
Hold on.
Went to school to be a doctor, dropped out to be director.
Drop to be director.